Hey, Amy, it's so nice to see you again.
So nice to see you. How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. What comes around, man, that struck a chord for me. I actually wasn't in that exact situation, but something very similar. So it really struck a chord for me. But what I want to talk to you about is I know that you took a hiatus from directing for a little bit. What
Right.
was it about Scott's book that drew you back in?
Well, yeah, I mean, it started as a play, and I felt like he was kind of investigating some certain concepts that I felt like were under investigated in terms of human behavior. I'm now a mom, and I was once a young woman, and we are all fallible. And I think once we start to demonize each other, we lose a lot of opportunity for compassion and understanding, and to maybe mitigate some of the downstream harm. So it felt very right to get back in the director's chair, and I felt like the way that he uses genre to kind of motor through some of these ideas was just compelling as a storyteller.
There was a quote that both Beth and Eric slash the other name says, and I just wanted to get your thoughts about it. Beth says people want certain things to be a certain way to begin to believe that it's true. And then Eric says some people don't want to believe things, so they block it out. What does that mean for you on the other side of shooting this film? Because those are some very deep statements.
I think a lot of us have experienced gaslighting on some level, and some of us have experienced doing it. And there is causes why you have to block out your own behavior and you're not willing to take responsibility. The implications might not just be to you, but other people around you. And so you keep that inside for fear of letting it out. And, when you're on the other side of that and you realize that your experience is being questioned, it can really damage your mental health. And we have evidence, that generational trauma is about not identifying some of the genesis of these behaviors. And my hope is that all of us can take as much responsibility for ourselves and our behavior as possible so that we can prevent the harm that can come from the downstream effects.
And what I also wanted to talk about is I read something where you said that this is more than just a teen drama film, right? This is a story about a mother and a daughter and their relationship and how it invites the discourse of a polarity of guilt and innocence. And I just wanted to talk about that for a second because mother and daughter relationships can be very tricky. They're very, very tricky. I'm someone's daughter and
I'm
on a
both.
daily basis. You're someone's daughter and you're someone's mother. So I just want to know how it hit you in that regard.
I look at my daughter when I don't tell the truth, when I'm trying to protect her from some reality, when I'm trying to make it so that she doesn't get jaded or doesn't walk out into the world feeling like there isn't an abundance of possibility. And yet calibrating, telling her the truth and giving her freedom has been an ongoing dance. And I know that what I endeavor to do is acknowledge what she sees and ask more questions and say less statements so that I can understand who she really is, and part of that I learned from my mother. My mom is an incredible woman, but she also grew up in a very specific time. So hopefully we can continue to evolve as mother and daughter and, citizens and be, more curious.
Just to wrap it up, Amy, I just want to say, I feel like What Comes Around is a very important film just by virtue of the fact that it leans into the whole technology thing of how kids can text and you don't know what they're doing. And when you ask them, they get very, protective and secretive about it. I think this is a very important film for that particular situation. And it also is important because it speaks to what you were saying about asking less questions, asking more questions and making less statement and making a statement. Did I say that right? I
Yes,
say that right.
yes,
Did I?
you did. I mean, I think, the we gave our children these devices and then we walked out of the building. And to be mad at them for the fact that they're using them how they want to use them is a little bit insane. So I think we need to come back into the building and figure out how we as protectors can give them some of the wisdom of our own experience without judging them for communicating in this world that, we handed them. So, I'm hoping that we can see the good. Some of it online can be very funny. It can be connective tissue. It can democratize ideas that could be inaccessible to people. On the other hand, it can be scary as shit, So,
Right? Right?
yes.
Well, just in closing it out, Amy Redford, you are a deep doll. I'm so honored
Oh,
to
I'm
be able
so
to
honored
have
to
an
talk to
opportunity
you.
to speak to you again. And good
Yes.
luck with your docuseries, The Lincoln Project. I wanted to get that in before we closed out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it aired on Showtime. So, it was some great filmmakers involved in that one too. So
Cool. Well, thank you, Mama. I'll
thank
talk to you
you.
soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.